Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a bike check on the new Haibike e-bike that I ride these days. You will have already seen this in my videos if you watch the channel regularly, and you will know that before this beast I was riding the blue Haibike e-bike. You'll probably remember that. So yeah, this is the new one that quite kindly Haibike gave to Sam, and then Sam allowed me to use this as my sort of bike, my bike to ride on, to do all the events in that I want to go to this year, and just general biking around on my channel and his channel, and even just for fun. Yeah, this is a bike check. It's going to be running you through all the different things, parts on the bike, how much it costs, even down to things to like how much air I run in my forks and my tyres and stuff. So we're going to jump straight on into it. We're at the front of the bike now. We'll start from the bottom sort of area and work our way upwards. We'll start off with the wheel and the tyre. The rims that come with the bike are Trip 35s. I'd not actually heard of those myself ever, but as I mentioned, they come stock on the bike. They're quite good rims so far. I mean, I haven't broken any spokes, they're not buckled even yet, and if you watch my channel, you know that I probably land sideways quite a lot and do some stuff that like would normally break things, you know. The fact that they're still alive and I'm riding the bike proves that they must be pretty good, especially for the price of the bike, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, that's that for the rims. The tyre itself is a Minion DHF 27.5 2.8 tyre, so it's massive. It's a plus size. You've got a lot of tread to work with. You can see the profile's real nice. The actual tread itself is super thick and real good for gripping. These tyres, the rear one's actually slightly different, but we'll get to that later, and these tyres are insane. They're actually so grippy. I've been able to put so much trust in these tyres, like I know them so well now. They're actually just insane. It's quite hard to even lose grip with them sometimes, which can prove to be annoying if you're trying to do cutties on berms and stuff, but when you're bombing it down the trails, these are literally the best tyres I've ever run. So if you want to get them, Maxxis Minion DHF, go and have a look at them. They're super good. The forks on the front are RockShox Yari. They are 160mm of travel, so you've got quite a lot to play with there. They're really good forks for sort of all-round biking, in my opinion. They're good for if you go in, you know, doing your cross-country loop. You can pump them up and they won't move much. You can drop the pressures down and smash through some downhill trails. I run these quite soft, but I actually don't know exactly what PSI I've got in this. I know what I've got in the rear, but I've forgotten what I've got in the front. But with the 160mm of travel that they are, I have 20% sag. So if you guys know anything about that and want to work it out, you can probably figure out how much air I run by how much sag I'm having. And I weigh 10 stone 10. So if someone wants to work that out, then be my guest. But yeah, they're super good forks. They've handled windhill for me. They've handled rogate. They've handled mellow stuff like this and some of the tracks at Danbury. So yeah, the forks are definitely really good all-round forks. Moving up now to the top of the bike, the bars and stem are Haibike's own bars and stem. The stem is literally called the stem and the bars are literally called the bar. The bars are 780mm, so they're pretty wide, feels super stable in the air. It feels super good to just sort of get into the roots and ruts and stuff, and personally I can maneuver bars that big better than other bars, and yeah, they haven't bent or anything yet. The stem is a 50mm stem. It's from Haibike. There's not really much more to say about that, to be honest. It's just a stem. The grips are obviously Pilgrims, best grips in the game. If you want to buy some, head over to Sam's channel or go to tothesky.store. You can grab some of them, slap them on your bike, and you'll be a beast just like me. The brakes are Shimano, front and rear. It's really good. I've had no issues with them so far. Coming stock on a bike, that's obviously really awesome. Yeah, sick. So, moving on to the rear end of the bike, we'll once again start at the wheel. We've got the same rim as the front, so front and back, same wheels, but the tyre on the rear here is actually a Minion DHR2. Which is slightly different to the front one, but they are more or less the same. The only difference, really is that the central tread on the rear tyre here is sort of a little bit more spaced out. You've got a little bit extra room here, whereas over on the front it's sort of aimed more forwards and directional, and this feels more sort of general. I don't know if that's making any sense to you whatsoever, but to me it feels like the front's real good for pushing through stuff and the rear's real good for gripping anything it can find, and I haven't actually burnt out much of the tread on the rear anyway, which is awesome. So obviously the tyre is holding up. One thing I've just realised I should mention is the pressure I run. I actually run 25 psi, pretty soft and good for sort of everything really. It helps you be able to cut the berms or grip to stuff when you need to. I've just found 25 to be quite the sweet spot. The cassette at the back is actually a new one that Sam put on for me. We just had a spare new good one laying around, so we decided to put it on. I'm not actually sure what that is, but the cassette that comes with this bike was good anyway. We just decided to change it for fun. So yeah, there's that. My derailleur is a Shimano Dior XT, good derailleur, hasn't broken yet, good for changing gears like it should be, pretty much the dream. The front chainring, which still comes stock on the bike, is a 32 tooth chainring, good sort of gearing throughout with all the gears. I've got a nice stiff gear in the bottom gear, and I've got some real nice easy gears for doing hill climbs, which is awesome. I've actually lost a tooth on the front chainring, and I've got no issues with it whatsoever. My rear shock is a RockShox Deluxe RT, and this is 150mm of travel. This shock has been super awesome all the time that I've been riding it. Just sort of all round it's been super good. I like the way that it's set up. I run 140 psi in that. I don't really know like what you should run, but I found 140 to be real nice. I've got the rebound sort of in the middle as well, so not too fast, not too slow. It's got a maximum psi of 325, so basically if you were to double the pressure I run, you still wouldn't be maxing out. The pedals are the DMR Bikes V12. I had these on my other bike, you probably would have seen that in another bike check, and I just transferred them across when I got this because I really like these pedals. They're super grippy, super lightweight, and just awesome. They've actually been alive for so long now, so they're definitely good pedals. The cranks are Haibike's own The Crank, which is pretty awesome. I think they're 170mm like most things. Looks sort of similar. These cranks are very thick, and they're also lightweight. I've caught these cranks on things before and they haven't bent, so they're definitely really good. The actual frame itself, which we're sort of coming towards the end of it now, I'll mention the battery and the motor in a second, but the frame itself is from Haibike's XDURO range. This is an all-mountain 2.0, which means it's sort of one of the lower spec Haibikes of the whole range that they have. This whole bike right here would cost you around £3,500 if you were to buy it. I think that's quite a good price. I mean, if you look at some of the like pro enduro bikes off the good big brands, you can get bikes that aren't an e-bike for way more than this. I think it's a nice price, especially for the e-power you get with it. You guys watch my videos, you know the sort of stuff that me and Sam get up to, and I mean, it's been surviving some crashes, some pretty big jumps, nothing massive, heavy route sections, big downhills, and it's come out surviving, and the colour is actually awesome. I like how the red sort of lights up all the time. So yeah, we'll move on to the battery now, and then that'll be that. The motor is a Yamaha PW 250 watt motor. It peaks at 70 Newton meters of torque, which is a good amount of torque, especially when you're in turbo, the top mode. You get a lot of power from that mode. Obviously the limiter cuts out your speed at 16 miles an hour because that is the law in England, and that's just what it is here. The battery is a 500 watt hour battery, so you've got a decent range on it. These batteries last quite a long time. I can say I've sessioned Windhill 2 days in a row, switching between standard and turbo, and then it ran out, and we were sessioning all day, so that's quite a lot of power. If you've been to Windhill, you know the climb up's pretty steep, so you are using a lot of the bike to do that, and the runs down are quite long. As for charging times, I think they take about 3 hours to charge. I've never actually timed it myself. When I get home, I just plug it in and then I come back in a few hours, and most of the time they're fully charged or nearly fully charged. So it doesn't take too long. If you were to bring this bike on holiday with you or something, you could easily plug that into your hotel room, go out for some beers, and then go and burn off the calories in a few hours. So then, I hope you guys enjoyed this bike check. I hope you found it either entertaining or useful in any possible way. Maybe you just enjoy me knowing almost nothing about biking, or maybe you're even thinking about getting a high bike, and maybe I helped you lean towards getting one of these beasts for yourself. Whatever you came here for, thank you for staying till the end. And my friends, I will see you at another stage in the week. Hope you guys have a good day, and see you in the next one.
I just wanna have some fun.